Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Utility Sports. Today, we have a very interesting video here going onto Super Bowl 55. I'm going to give you a preview, a prediction, everything you need to know about Super Bowl 55 to be ready for the game on Sunday, February 7th, starting at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And looking at this, we've got a great matchup here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's start with some housekeeping here. Halftime show is by The Weeknd. I really like The Weeknd. He has some really good music. I'm very excited about that. Obviously, it's at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the first ever team in NFL history to have a home Super Bowl game. I think that'll be very helpful. The Buccaneers get to sleep in their home beds, aren't going to be at a hotel. They get to do their normal thing. They have a little bit of an advantage there when it comes to that. It is on CBS this weekend, obviously February 7th, like I had mentioned. National anthem is sung by Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan. Those are the housekeeping things for Super Bowl 55. I'm also really excited for the commercials as per usual, hoping for some really great ones this time around. And now into the actual game. We have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have been great all year. Really only one actual loss when they played their starters, and that was to the Las Vegas Raiders in a close one-score game that they just got slightly outdueled in. The Chiefs have been phenomenal all year long. I think that they should be probably considered the favorite by many coming in, but that does not necessarily mean that's my prediction. The Buccaneers have been super hot lately, have already won 3 playoff games, looking to make it 4 on their road to winning a Super Bowl. Tom Brady, remember, has already won 3 road playoff games, gets the home Super Bowl now. He defeated the Washington football team, went on to beat New Orleans and Drew Brees in New Orleans, and then went on to beat Green Bay at Lambeau Field, beat Aaron Rodgers. What an impressive run for the Buccaneers. They finished the year 11-5, now 14-5 with those 3 straight wins. The Chiefs were 14-2. So, what are some of the key inactives or possible inactives for this game? Well, for the Chiefs, Eric Fisher injured his Achilles last timeout against the Buffalo Bills later in that game. That is a big loss to that Chiefs offensive line. They're missing their starting tackle now. He is out for sure. Willie Gay is also out, the linebacker they spent a draft pick on last year. Sammy Watkins is likely to play, however. He is listed as questionable currently, but in an interview, he said he feels good that he is likely going to go into this game as available. Probably will start as the number 2 wide receiver. We'll see him and Mecole Hardman probably share a lot of their snaps on the field. Tyreek Hill obviously going to be the number 1 receiver there. For Tampa Bay, who is doubtful? Antonio Brown is doubtful. Jordan Whitehead, the safety, is also doubtful. Jordan Whitehead played a really big game in that, played a really big role in that game against the Green Bay Packers, forced a fumble on Aaron Jones, actually forced 2 in that game. One was a really big recovery by Devin White that set up a future score for the Buccaneers. He is doubtful at this point. That would be a big loss for the Buccaneers. However, they will be getting back safety Antoine Winfield. He is questionable at the moment, but it sounds like he is going to play in Super Bowl 55. He was really big in the New Orleans game, forcing a fumble that game. Hopefully for the Buccaneers, they have both of those safeties. Those are big necessities against this Chiefs offense that likes to move the ball down the field. Another questionable is Levante David. He's a great linebacker. He's going to be very vital in slowing down Travis Kelce, giving them problems. Now, on to this matchup. Remember, these 2 teams played each other earlier. The Chiefs pulled out a narrow victory in that game. They controlled that game for the most part, though. The Buccaneers, I do not believe, had a lead in that game. And just, we're behind the whole time. They fought back into it, but could not get the win. Especially that first half, they really struggled running a lot of man-to-man coverage. So, what do I expect to be big matchups here in this game? For the Buccaneers, Carlton Davis has to step up. He has to play better than he did against the Chiefs earlier this year, and he has to play to the level he's played the last 2 games for them against Michael Thomas and the New Orleans Saints, and against against the Green Bay Packers and Devontae Adams. Adams, yeah, sure, he had a good game, did not have a great game. Michael Thomas didn't even have a good game when they played the Buccaneers. Carlton Davis has to step up. He's going to be the guy looking at Tyreek Hill most often. Tyreek Hill got the better of him earlier on in the season. And now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carlton Davis is going to have a bigger game, especially with those 2 safeties being banged up, Jordan Whitehead and Antoine Winfield. How are the Buccaneers going to help Carlton Davis do that, though? And that's going to be running a lot of zone defense. I think that Todd Bowles is going to look at the tape from earlier this year. He's going to go back to his New York Jets head coaching days, and he's going to run a lot of zone blitzes and a lot of zone schemes. And the reasoning is You just can't beat the Chiefs in man-to-man coverage very consistently. They're too fast, too good. Mahomes is too talented. How is the zone going to work? Yes, Travis Kelce is a beast in the middle, but the Buccaneers have the best duo for that combination in Devin White and Levante David. Assuming David plays, those two are going to be very, very big in slowing down Travis Kelce, slowing down this Kansas City Chiefs offense. What is another big situation to watch here for the Buccaneers' sake? It's going to be those defensive ends, Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul, JPP. Those two are going to have a field day. The Chiefs' offensive line is banged up. Eric Fisher is out, like I mentioned. They need to not only get after Patrick Mahomes, they need to get to Patrick Mahomes. They need to make sure they hit him, knock him down, make him feel them early on in this game. We saw how great Shaq Barrett did against Aaron Rodgers, someone who's known for extending plays. The Buccaneers are going to have to do the exact same thing, if not more, in Super Bowl 55 to pull this one out. They have the odds stacked against them in a lot of different ways. Kansas City's offense is so stacked, but I think Tampa Bay has some of those pieces on defense that they're going to need to take advantage of certain matchups to possibly pull this one out. Those are going to be the matchups to watch for this Buccaneers defense. Now on the offense, what is going to be something worth watching? L'Jarius Sneed is also likely. He's questionable for the Chiefs. If he's a little banged up, that's going to be worth watching for Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Evans is going to be that red zone guy, and Chris Godwin's going to work the middle of the field. He's going to get them yards after the catch. That's going to be really where Tampa needs to go. But I think it really, really starts with Leonard Fournette on the ground this week for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need to get a run game going early. They need to slow down Frank Clark. They need to slow down Chris Jones, and they're going to do that by pounding the ball up the middle and out on the edges. We saw how good Leonard Fournette played against the Green Bay Packers, a really phenomenal run that led to a score for Tampa Bay in that game. Obviously pulled out a nice spin move as well. They're going to need his best football. That's the reason they brought him in. They brought him in for big games like this to get meaningful yards when they really need it. And against the Kansas City Chiefs, he's going to have to be a little bit of a workhorse. He's going to have to wear down those linebackers, Damian Wilson, Anthony Hitchens. He's going to have to wear down the defensive line. The Buccaneers offensive line is very solid. They need Leonard Fournette to help put them over the top, make them a good offensive line this week by breaking some tackles, getting yards after contact. I think Leonard Fournette is very capable of doing that. The nice thing is they also have Ronald Jones there to spell him a little bit, keep him fresh throughout the game. That'll be really important for Tampa Bay offensively. And also watch out for Cameron Brate. I think Cam Brate is going to have a few really meaningful catches in this game for Tampa Bay to keep drives alive on third down. And also going to be a red zone option for Tom Brady. I would watch for him to be a nice add for the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl 55. Now for Kansas City, what do they need to do? They need to find ways to get Travis Kelce the ball early and often against this Buccaneers defense. Setting him up for success is going to be a key part of the Chiefs game. We know how great Mahomes is. They are not going to run the football very well this game. The Buccaneers defensive line is so stout. Vita Vea being back even makes this more difficult for the Kansas City Chiefs. I do not expect Le'Veon Bell or Clyde Edwards-Helaire to have a great game. I don't expect either of them to. I think that this is going to be won or lost in the air for the Kansas City Chiefs, and no one better than Patrick Mahomes to try and do that for you. It's going to be through Travis Kelce across the middle of the field a lot, in my opinion. I'm expecting a lot of zone defense from the Buccaneers, and then anytime you get a man-to-man matchup, watch for Tyreek Hill on the outside to burn someone. If the Buccaneers are aggressive, don't give safety help over the top of Carlton Davis. I think it's very possible Tyreek Hill could have a monster game. It depends on what Todd Bowles does. I expect him to come out in zone, but if he does come out in man, they could be setting themselves up for a little bit of failure there in Tampa Bay and their home Super Bowl. Now for the defensive side of the ball for the Kansas City Chiefs, what are going to be their keys? Their key is going to be Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones. Those two guys need to have big games for the Kansas City Chiefs to win. Mathieu is going to be a big Swiss Army knife yet again for the Kansas City Chiefs this Super Bowl. He's going to take some slot receivers. He's going to play all over the field. He's going to be a big part. He's going to rush the passer every once in a while on blitzes. And he's going to have to get after Tom Brady. He's going to have to get after Chris Godwin. Anything across the middle is going to be on Tyrann Mathieu to really slow that down. We know how good Tom Brady is throwing it short, throwing it over the middle of the field on intermediate routes. Tyrann Mathieu is going to have a huge game here limiting that. This isn't Jimmy Garoppolo in the Super Bowl. This is Tom Brady. No disrespect to Jimmy G, but there's levels to this. And Tom Brady is the best to ever do it. He's the greatest of all time. Patrick Mahomes is on a pathway where he could be that. But right now, this head-to-head matchup is really important for legacy, and Tyrann Mathieu is going to have a huge impact on that. Chris Jones as well. He needs to get after Tom Brady. I had mentioned that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line being pretty solid. One of their weaknesses was right up the middle. Alex Kappa, Ryan Jensen. I don't know if I trust the two of them consistently against Chris Jones, one of the best pass rushing D tackles in the league. He's going to need to get home to Tom Brady at least once or twice in this game to really impact it, force him into third and longs, kind of kill drives. I think that he has the potential to do that. Some people really like Frank Clark. I think Frank Clark could have an impactful play or two, but I think Chris Jones is really the guy to watch for the Kansas City Chiefs on that defense this week. Also, L'Jarius Sneed, I think he's worth mentioning. He is their best corner there in Kansas City. I expect him to have a big game as well. And I think that it's also ultimately the matchup's going to be won or lost in a lot of ways on the outside based on what Tyrann Mathieu does on the inside between Bashaud Breeland and either Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, whoever lines up on the left side of the field a little bit more frequently. So let me know in the comments below who you think is going to win this game. I'm about to give my prediction right here. And my prediction is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do win this football game 38-35 at home in Super Bowl 55. I think that this is a very tough game to mock. I look at this and I hate picking against Patrick Mahomes. I might regret this a lot, even saying this on our channel here. But I think the Buccaneers do win this game by a very slim margin. Ryan Suckup is going to hit a game-winning field goal, in my opinion. It's going to come down to whoever has the ball last between the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady needs to step up this week. He can't do what he did last week and have that miserable second half. He's lucky the Buccaneers survived that against the Green Bay Packers. He cannot afford to do that this week against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think he knows that. He's going to come in focused. He's been here so many times. This is his 10th Super Bowl trip, and I think he's going to get the job done for ring number 7 here in Tampa Bay at Raymond James Stadium. It's going to be a really good matchup. I think Todd Bowles is going to come prepared. I think Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator, is going to come prepared. That game earlier in the year is going to be the telltale sign for both of these teams. The Chiefs probably all week have been studying what they're going to do against that zone and how they can manipulate the man-to-man coverage. And the Buccaneers are looking at how they can slow down Travis Kelce in the zone coverage and how much they're going to have to shade over the top for Tyreek Hill to help Carlton Davis in man-to-man situations. I think those are really the two big things to watch. But I expect the Buccaneers to get home to Patrick Mahomes more consistently than they have in the past. I think Mahomes, he's a really good player, but not having Eric Fisher is going to hurt a little bit. They need to keep him in the pocket, and they need to hit him. I expect them to even throw in some QB spies with Devin White or Levante David to ensure that Mahomes doesn't get to roll out, pick up big third downs with his legs. That's something I'm watching for as well in the Super Bowl. I am super excited for this matchup this week. I don't think there's a better Super Bowl matchup that we could have had. Ultimately, I think it's really awesome getting to see Tom Brady coming out of the NFC in his first year there, having a home Super Bowl game. And of course, it's always a pleasure watching Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill go to work. That offense under Andy Reid is so spectacular. We have a really good matchup this week. I'm really excited to watch it. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win, and let me know why. I'm really interested to hear. I think many of you are probably leaning towards the Chiefs, and I really have a hard time not picking the Chiefs. But I think that Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul have really big games this week. Get after Mahomes just enough to impact this football game. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. This has been our Super Bowl preview here for Super Bowl 55 here on the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure you do now. Also, don't forget to smash that like button. We appreciate you guys so much. We have the best viewers on the planet, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.